Hi, boys and girls. Mrs. Kunish here. Today I'm going to be reading to you a story called Tiny Creatures, The World of Microbes. It's written by Nicola Davis. It's an expository nonfiction, so let's get started. You know about big animals, and you know about small animals. Boys and girls, can you see the ant on the branch? But did you know there are creatures so tiny that millions could fit on this ant's antenna? So tiny that we'd have to make the ant's antenna as big as a whale to show them to you? They don't have eyes, heads, or legs, branches, roots, or leaves because they aren't animals or plants, but they are alive. They are called microbes, and there are lots of them. A single drop of seawater can hold 20 million microbes. That's about the same as the number of people in New York State. And a teaspoon of soil can have as many as 1 billion microbes. That's about the same as the number of people in the whole of India. Microbes live everywhere, in the sea, on land, in the soil, and in the air. They live in places where nothing else does, like in volcanoes or inside rocks or at the back of your fridge. They also live on the outside and inside of plants and animals. Right now, there are many more microbes living on your skin than there are people on Earth, and there are 10 or even 100 times as many as that in your stomach. But don't worry, although some microbes make you sick, the ones that live in you and on you all the time help keep you well. But even though they are too small to see, they are not all the same. There are lots of different kinds, more than there are different kinds of animals and plants. Some are tinier than others, as different in size as ants and whales. This one is called the poliovirus, and it's one of the smallest microbes. This one is called a paramecium, and it's 2,000 times bigger than the poliovirus. A paramecium is a kind of microbe that lives in ponds and lakes. Is the paramecium really this big? No, not really. Like all microbes, paramecia are too small to be seen by the human eye alone. So the illustrator of this book made a really large drawing of this microbe to show you what it looks like and to show how much bigger it is than the polio virus. Some microbes are round, some are skinny, some have wiggly tails, some look like daisies, some look like shells, some are squishy, some look like spaceships, and some look like necklaces. Since microbes are too small to see, do you wonder how scientists know what they look like? Scientists use microscopes to look at the microbes. A microscope is an instrument that allows you to see tiny things very clearly. Microbes can eat anything: plants, animals, dead or alive, even oil and rocks. They are too small to have mouths, so they just soak up what they need through their skin. That's why the things microbes eat don't disappear in bites. They change slowly into something else. Here is some food scraps, boys and girls, that we would maybe throw away, but they change into compost. Here is a milk, and that changes into something we love to eat called yogurt. Here is a picture of the rocks changing into soil. And when microbes are well fed, they are really, really good at making more microbes. They simply split so that where there was one, 20 minutes later, there are two, and then four, and then eight, and then 16. Starting with just one microbe of a type called E. coli, which of course would be far too small for you to see, it would take 11 and a half hours for there to be enough E. coli to fill this space. And 20 minutes later, they would all split and double to fill this space. Wow, that's a lot, boys and girls. That's why it takes only a few of the wrong kind of microbes, the kind we call germs, to get into your body to make you sick, like through a mosquito. They get in through your mouth or through a cut or sometimes through an insect bite. Then inside you, where they are warm and well fed, they split and split and split until just a few germs have turned into thousands, then millions. They're still tiny, but there are enough of them to make you sick. Luckily, only a few kinds of microbes can make humans sick. Most microbes are busy doing other things. Boys and girls, notice what the children are doing there. We've been talking a lot about that at school. Good hand washing is a great way to keep the germs away. And because microbes are so good at making more microbes, some of the things they do are very, very big. They can wear down mountains and build up cliffs. They can stain the sea red, turn the sky cloudy, and make snowflakes grow. They recycle everything that dies to make soil so that new life can sprout, and they help to make our air good to breathe. All over the earth, all the time, tiny microbes are eating and splitting, changing one thing into another. They are the invisible transformers of our world, the tiniest lives doing some of the biggest jobs. There's the end paper, boys and girls, with all the samples of microbes. I'd like you to think about what you learned about microbes from this book, and when I turn off the video, turn and talk to your family about what you learned, what good things the microbes do. The author talks about some of the microbes called germs, and those are things that we want to try and keep away. Remember that fiction books tell made-up stories and nonfiction books give true information about a topic. What facts can you remember from this nonfiction book from our author, Nicole Davies? She has studied for a long time to become a zoologist, which is a scientist who studies living creatures. Why do you think she writes books like this for children, boys and girls? Think about that and share your thinking with your grown-up family members or your siblings. Thanks for listening.